welcome back to episode 15 of Dephemerember. We're gonna get that word right before it's all said and done, aren't we? Okay, so here's where we're at. I've been waiting on this one. Oh, I've been waiting on this one. Finally, hubby was like, oh, you didn't make a face when I drew your prompt. Wings and a label. And the reason I'm so excited for this one is the lovely Miss Judy sent me this beautiful die cut with these wings. So I have my piece of card here, and this is not a heavy piece of card. It's 4.5 by 6.5, okay? And my plan has been my plan all along for this particular piece is I'm going to do a mixed media background, and we're going to just have her tucked in with her beautiful wings and just make her the focal point. So what I plan to do is play with my inks, okay? We definitely want some Villainous Potion. We definitely want some pink. Let's go with some picked raspberry. And then we need kind of a blue. I really want, oh, you know what we're gonna do? Peacock feathers. I think we're gonna do peacock feathers. If I can find it, yeah. Those are like 3 of my favorite colors. Anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to squish these on my mat, spray it with water. Actually, first, I'm gonna collage this for some texture. And what I think I'm just gonna do is just use this white napkin and get that glued down and dried. And then I'll come back, show you that. And then I'll start squishing my inks and getting some color on here. See where we're at with that. I just want to give it a lot of interest, a lot of texture, and see what we can come up with. So I'll be back. Oops. Okay, so I have a layer of watered down glue on my paper here. Okay, it's just, I don't know, white glue. I don't know, that scholastic stuff I used in the decoupage napkin video. And I put it away like a ding dong. But I'm purposely doing this very coarsely, very roughly. I want all that texture on there. I really want all that. And then what's gonna happen is, I don't know why I put it up. I knew I wasn't done with it. What I'm gonna do is just take my little thingy here, silicone brush thingy, and just gonna go across the top of that. Now this napkin's wet, so remember when they get wet, they're fragile, they'll tear, okay? So it really just depends on what kind of texture you want. Do you care if it's torn? If you want it smooth? You don't even have to do the napkin in the background. I just like the texture that it gives. And I wanted a little bit of a mixed media break this morning. I wanted to kind of play and see what we could come up with for background. And because I kind of have a plan. I don't know if how it's gonna play out. We'll see. I have not mastered the art of videoing and fast forwarding so you could see the entire process. I did try to fast forward once and I got told I sounded like a chipmunk. So I didn't understand how to take the sound out or reduce the volume. So I don't want to do that again and have messages that I sound like a chipmunk. So that's why I'm just going to do this in stages. So as you're watching this, if you have any questions, please make sure you ask me in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them if I can and help you in any way that I can. It really is just about experimenting and playing with your products and just figuring out how things behave with one another. So I'm going to get this dried and I'll be back. So here's some humor to interject for you. Don't be like me. I wasn't thinking. I should have thought, because I did this in the decoupage napkin video too. What did I do? I did not put my card on parchment paper. So guess what stuck to my cutting mat? So I tried to pull it up and I tore my napkin. So don't be like me. Make sure if you're doing this, you use a surface that your glue's not gonna stick to, okay? Or that it'll release from. Luckily, I don't mind that it's rough and it's okay and this will clean up. But I just wanted to tell you, make sure you're using a nonstick surface with your glue. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, well that fiasco's kind of over. Dry, maybe. We'll see. All right, so this is really not very thick cardstock, and that's okay because I'm really just creating my top layer, because what's going to happen is once I'm done with this, I'm going to end up attaching this to at least another sheet. I do have some coffee dyed file folder here that maybe we'll do something with that as well. So what I want to do is just start and pick a color. So let's just go with pink. Let's get some pink on there. We're going to spritz that with some water. Okay, and then we're just going to start dipping. See what we can come up with here. Oop. Let's get some color going with that. And then what I like about this is don't waste this great, yummy color mess, because we'll mop that up on something else. So let's get a piece of craft paper and mop that up. So I wasn't going to show each individual color, but I was getting ready to put blue down, and then I realized, you know, you can still see the pink on my mat here. So you want to make sure that you're really careful with your ink pads and you're not ruining your ink pads by cross-contaminating your color. Now I just wiped that with that baby wipe, so before I go and squish my pad down, I want to make sure that's completely dry so I don't damage the ink pad itself. So I have my pink is super bright. Don't worry, we're going to tame it. I took some craft stock and I mopped up the pink that was on my placemat or my cutting mat or whatever. And don't worry, this is all going to be a process. We're definitely going to be getting some gesso involved. We're going to be getting some stamping, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hang with me. We're going to get through it. I forgot to turn you on when I started the blue, but that's all right. So I just was dipping it, and then I thought, you know, I wanted it to run a little bit more, so I just sprayed it with some water, and I'm literally getting ink everywhere. I have such a mess. Okay, so we'll get this dried. We are gonna mop it up on our piece of craft stock and see what we end up with. Okay, and now we're doing some purple. Let's see what we can get here. And get this all dried. And then I'm definitely going to be taking some gesso to knock some of these colors back and see what we can come up with as far as that goes. I'm going to get this mopped up. The peacock feathers dried beautifully. I know this villainous potion is going to dry beautifully. So I'll get this all cleaned up, get the gesso out, and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got it, and it's just way too bold for me, and I knew it was going to be. I knew I was going to be taking gesso to it. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to take one of my messy cards, if I could find one. Okay, maybe we won't. We'll just use this. I'm just going to stick it in there, and we're just going to go across the top of this and just knock some of that to the background. I really just, and the nice thing about doing this is hopefully it will just kind of give the illusion that it's like a snowy background, you know? I don't know. We'll see. That's not working. I need my, one of my little credit cards. Oh, there they are. They just fell down in the bottom. Sorry, got my big old arm right in the, so let's do it like this. There we go. Get that knocked to the back, which I love this effect. I love it. So I'll just get this knocked to the background here, get that dry, and then see where we are, if we need another layer or if we're ready to start stamping and adding some dimension and texture to this. And again, remember, it's paper. I mean, literally, what do we have? We have a piece of cardstock, we have some ink, we have a napkin, and we have some time, okay? And we just have a little bit of playtime. And in the meantime, look at this fantastic piece of craft stock that's going to be fun to play with in another project, which I have plans for. So anyway, okay, so I'm just going to continue and get this finished up and dried, and I'll be back. I just thought I was filming again, and I wasn't. So I think that this is going to be my last video because it's like my third or fourth one this morning, and my brain's like, time for a break. Okay, so hopefully this is not repeat. If it is, I apologize. Again, please have grace with me as I'm trying to film and manage my life and filming these series. So my gesso reacted with the inks in the back, you know, which is normal because they're water-based. But I love because it pulled that pastel effect of the colors to the front, and that real rich color is still in the background. I have some background stamps here. I'm just going to add some interest and dimension. I think I'm definitely going to use the smoke gray, or excuse me, hickory smoke, maybe some black soot, and maybe a little bit of tone on tone as well, just to add some interest. And I have her, and I have to look through my dies because I think I'm going to do something that pulls her up off that page. So I'm still formulating this in my mind. All right then. So now we have some interest in the background. I did some stamping. I used some different colors. You know, and I think we'll end up, I definitely am going to do some splattering on here for some more shimmer and shine and interest. But I was thinking I have to go look through my die cuts and see what I have. But I want to definitely have her focused, you know, up front here. And so let me go see which die I think will work for that purpose and keep moving along on this. Okay, I killed my bag trying to put my dies back in it. So this is a set that I've used, Stephanie Barnard 561840. It's these oval framelits, and the little dots put holes in your frame. I have to figure out a different way to store this now because I tore my bag. So what I did is I just chose one that was approximate in size for her. And we're going to get her wings glued on. Okay, so her wings will kind of protrude off of the oval, which is fine. That's upside down. And, well, I mean, it doesn't have a right side up or down, to be perfectly honest. I just wanted her a little bit further toward the bottom, I think. And then I'm going to get something, we need a phrase on here or a label or something for her. And I think I'm going to gild the edges of this with silver. So I want to grab that because this is more silver, not gold. So I don't want to use gold on her. It's more whimsical and I want like the white. So I'm going to grab that and I'll be back. I have my silver gilding polish here. And I'm just going to go around the edges with this. And I had used black soot. So I'm hoping that it'll really give us a nice snowy effect around the edge there. It's hard to see, boy, even in the light. So I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this in the camera or not. But anyway, so I'll go around the edge of this, and you know, I may have to come back with that glacier paste, that winter white, and just do a little bit of a shimmer over the whole textured part, not the middle, just the textured part of it, and see what that looks like. If this isn't gonna show, it'll show. It's gonna be fine. But I am actually really enjoying this piece. I love mixed media, and I just love the process. And you know, you play with it until you like it. And you know what? And if you don't get to the point where you like it, you just cover it up and start over. You know, that's why I say it's paper, and just keep playing. Play with your products. Figure out what speaks to you, what makes you happy. You know, if you want to use colors that have nothing to do with one another and that's what makes you happy, go for it. But I will tell you that it's easy to make mud. So as you're playing with your colors, just kind of be familiar with your color wheel and know that certain colors are going to make mud, like red and green together. Even though I love red and green together as far as Christmas goes, as far as mixing products and colors, it will give you brown. So be mindful of that just when you're playing. You can search color wheels online. I happened to find a color wheel this summer, so that was great. I referenced that quite a bit. Anyway, so I'm going to let this dry and get my fairy on here, and our ballerina fairy, and see what kind of words that we want on here to finish our card. Okay, we are done with this piece. I wasn't sure I was gonna make it. Okay, let's see. I did the bright pink bling on it. I just thought that Rejoice just spoke to my heart today. I felt like it just said, I need something bright and cheerful, joyful. So I went with Rejoice. I have not inked around the back of that because, I mean, I've got to let that gilding paste dry. And anyway, so I'll just show you that it's going to go in this page and sit down in there. So I think it's going to be absolutely beautiful in there. Hopefully you can see that. And so she's just going to peek out. So I have to get my pocket glued, but I want to let her just dry. So I have not gotten the label or the stamp date on that one yet, but I will. And but I love how she came out. By far the longest piece it's taken me in this series, but I just loved her and I loved this ballerina. So I knew this prompt was going to be getting drawn at some point, and I was so excited because Judy had sent me these die cuts and they're beautiful. I did not intend to glitter the ballerina. However, I have glitter and gilding and glacier paste everywhere, so I just had to roll with it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy this process. Get your papers out, get your inks out, stamps, play, get messy. It's okay. Just have fun with it and see what you can create. So thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I will see you in the next video. I do not know if I will film another one today or if I will just wait for tomorrow. We'll see. I have to work on my slow stitching and get my samplers worked on for Roxy's project. So that is going to be on my agenda for this afternoon at some point. All right. Well, have a wonderful day. Bye.